Retail marketers face pressure to turn AI pilots into decisions, as 67% of executives expect personalization within a year. To discuss this, we are joined by Vanessa Matthijssen of Deloitte and Sarah Richardson of Loyalty Group APAC. Vanessa and Sarah, thanks for joining us. I want to start with you, Vanessa. What's pushing retailers to finally move AI out of pilots and into real channel decisions this year?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me. Look, the research is very clear on this, that at least half of Asia Pacific retailers are already working with AI and agentic in marketing and sales, and they're scaling and they're learning fast. And they have to do that because the world is very different and is going to be very different than has been to date. So it's no longer about optimizing channels. It's not about static segmentation anymore. No more predefined journeys. It's about meeting the customer and the consumer where they are, which means that they have to start to orchestrate decisions in real time and connecting the dots across stores, across the data silos, across the channels, and design for both humans and agents. And that's not an easy task.
And Sarah, same question. What's pushing retailers to finally move AI out of pilots and into real channel decisions this year?
Yeah, I see three main reasons. So the commercial pressure is much greater than it's ever been. So most companies are adopting this technology at pace, and if you don't do the same thing, then you're going to be left behind. Secondly, I think technology has advanced considerably, so it's a lot easier to do what senior management wants staff to do now than it was before. Integration has advanced significantly. And I think thirdly, leadership is really looking for results. They're not interested in pilots anymore. They really want their staff and the members of their teams to be pushing forward, trialing and getting on board with AI and everything it can bring.
Sarah, you mentioned commercial pressures. Shoppers now jump between stores, apps, and marketplaces. How do marketers keep up?
Well, I think they really need to understand the difference between the customer journeys that exist. It's an extremely complex market out there, and AI has enabled the ability for them to do that. I think they really need to have a single view of the customer. We've always been talking about these things, but now we can actually do this at scale.
And Vanessa, same question. Shoppers now jump between stores, apps, marketplaces, and what have you. So how do marketers keep up?
I think it starts by recognizing that the shoppers move a lot faster than any marketing team or a human brain really can keep up with. So AI was seen as an advantage, and I would say it's now turning into AI being a necessity. And we already see many of the marketers working alongside agents, be that shopper bots or multi-channel orchestrators, so anything around the next best action, autonomous segmentation, so using machine learning to really group consumers in real time, geo-targeted promo agents offering specific promos for only those nearby a particular competitor campaign. So the marketing function is changing. It's now much more of a blend between the agentic and the human workforce, where the human really sets the intent and then the AI executes.
And Vanessa, when customer behavior shifts across channels, where do retailers still lose sight of what's happening?
Yeah, I think it's less about where they lose sight. It's probably more about when and the conditions under which that happens. And what we see and where we see the challenge is when data foundations are not in place, because AI really relies on good quality data, accurate data, unified data. And when that's not the case, we really are struggling. And the next one is around workflow integration, human and agent collaboration. And we still see examples where AI actually makes the right suggestion, but it's then the human who overwrites it because they don't really trust the recommendation that is coming through. So to really unlock that value, we've got to make sure that data, workflow, and work integration and the trust is in place, because that is ultimately what both the organization and the consumer needs.
And Sarah, same question. When customer behavior shifts across channels, where do retailers still lose sight or still need to improve in terms of getting to know what's happening?
Yeah, from my perspective, what I see in the loyalty market is the biggest blind spot appears to be at handover, so between online and offline. So retailers really lose the customer between channels, not inside channels. So they have an enormous amount of data now, but often their behavior gets lost within that data, and they really need to take a much higher view of the customer. I think the difference between multi-channel and omni-channel is also something that is lost on a lot of marketers or is extremely hard to achieve. And so if you can actually understand the omni-channel journey that your customers are going through, it's going to make that a lot easier to achieve.
Vanessa and Sarah, thanks very much for joining us today. Great insights. Great to have you on the program.
Thanks for having us, Kyle.
Thanks so much.
Again, those were Vanessa Matthijssen, Asia Pacific Consumer Industry Lead at Deloitte, and Sarah Richardson, CEO and founder at Loyalty Group APAC. For more news, visit retailasia.com.